You know, it's interesting how a lot of people that claim to be spiritual will turn around and judge you for the choices that you make based on their own personal experience. That's completely hypocritical because being spiritual is to let go of judgment, especially prejudgment, judging before you even talk to a person or even get to know a person. You judge based on your first impression of them. That's prejudgment, also known as prejudice. Yes. And it's hate. It's creating hate. It's literally the opposite of spirituality. You can't judge somebody based on your own experience. Everybody experiences life differently. We're not all programmed the same way either. And on top of that, we all have different chemistry in our brains. So we all react differently to everything, to substances, to situations, and there's no reason to judge somebody based on their choices. We all make bad choices, and we all make seemingly bad choices. But just because it was a bad choice for you doesn't mean it's a bad choice for somebody else. Just because something didn't work for you doesn't mean it can't work for somebody else. You cannot judge somebody else's journey because it is not your journey. It's not your experience, and this you have no place to. You don't know. You don't know what people are going through. So just be mindful and just be kind too, because you never know if you're making somebody's day or ruining their day, and you can easily ruin somebody's day or you can easily make their day, but it all depends on what kind of energy you're putting out. If you're putting out judgmental energy, you're criticizing people, and me personally, I don't get that offended because I love criticism, and I will stand up for myself. I will say, you know what? No, I do not. I do not agree with you. This is not how it works for me, and my experience is different. I've done nothing but follow my heart my entire life, and it's never led me astray. I'm going to keep doing that. If I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, then I'm going to do it. And the universe is only sending me reassurance and signs all the time that I'm on the right path, that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Just live your life. And if they want to judge, let them judge. But try not to get too offended. Just let it go. Because if anybody's trying to make you feel bad, it's because deep down they still feel bad about themselves. That if somebody's in pain or hurt, then it only makes sense that they would try to take out their frustration and inflict pain on somebody else, so that way they're not the only one suffering. They want they don't want to suffer alone. Nobody wants to suffer alone, but they do. And the reason I share my feelings all the time and my emotions, even when I'm working through them, is because I want everybody to see that you have to work through these emotions. You have to go through them. You have to experience them. You have to let them out. So I shed some tears. I don't care if people are gonna think I'm a wimp, because you know what? I know my truth. I know I am strong. I am super strong. I have a very strong willpower. And everybody has a dark night. Just because I'm a motivational speaker, or I that's the closest term I could even find for myself on Instagram, doesn't mean I'm always motivated. But I have dealt with a lot of my emotional trauma and I've healed so much, but there's still a lot of underlying things that I have not yet become aware of, a lot of programming that I'm still working on, and a lot of things I'm still contemplating about life, like how do we detach completely from people when we love people so much and our heart is just growing bigger and bigger, and we love so much, and instantly, and it's not even that much different for each person. It just, we have appreciation for kind humans and conscious humans that are just trying to be nice and trying to do good and not trying to stir up trouble. Just being love, being peace. So I don't care if people see me cry. I don't care if people see me doing whatever I do. I'm just gonna be myself. I don't, even if I lose followers, I don't care if people don't like me. I'm not here for people to like me. I'm here to find my soul tribe, the people that will like me for who I am. So I'm always going to show myself for who I truly am. That way I know who my true friends are. Because if you show yourself your true self and people still stick around, that's how you know who your true friends are. And if you're watching this right now, then you're one of them, I'm sure. And I appreciate you all so much. And I just wish I could show more appreciation to everybody individually. But as a Sagittarius, we tend to make a lot of friends, and also at the same time we enjoy our alone time, so we never catch up with friends as much as we should, because it's just, we always put up too much on our plate. But I like coming on here. I like talking to you all, so you can keep up with me. You know what's going on in my life, and you don't have to miss a single beat. You're going through this journey with me, this healing journey. Most of the emotional healing is done. Now it's manifesting this new aura of abundance and love and just serenity. That's what comes next, and that's what I'm working on. But you have to heal your mental and emotional trauma first. At least what you know. Because there's a lot we don't know. There's a lot of suppressed emotions that we don't know why we're feeling them, and that's why we need to feel everything. And people think that, oh, you smoke weed, you're running away from your feelings. But for me, it's the opposite. I feel more when I smoke. I feel the same. It doesn't change me at all. It doesn't affect me negatively. If it affects other people negatively, then that's their own personal experience. But it's not right to judge me based on your own personal experience with a certain substance that, by the way, comes naturally from the earth, is literally plant medicine. Of course, we always need to find balance, and it's important not to smoke too much, because of course, if you're smoking a lot and you're smoking yourself stupid, of course you're gonna numb yourself. But I don't do that. I smoke just enough to stimulate my brain. And as a philosopher, it actually, since I'm already a deep thinker, it just helps me think even more deeply on a whole nother level. And it doesn't affect me negatively, so there's no reason for me to feel bad about it. And people always try to make me feel bad about it and judge me, especially like the spiritual community, which it's hypocritical, because you're not supposed to be judgmental. We're supposed to let go of judgment. This is somebody else's experience. Let them have it. Maybe one day they will come to the same conclusion as you, but that's not your place to say. Let them decide for themselves. It's like, I don't force people to be vegan, like, or tell them like you need, like, I will spread some facts and say, hey, this is, you probably shouldn't be eating this, because this is why people are dying. And I'm only doing that because I'm looking out for people, but I'm not going to be like, you need to go full vegan and stop eating meat completely, and just, no, I'm not never going to do that. Like, the best thing you can do is just reduce, and just lower your consumption, lower your impact on the environment and everything. The less you eat, the more food there is for people. Like, just fast every now and then. Don't eat too much. That's something I had to deal with. I eat a lot, but I'm eating less. I'm fasting more, and a lot of people might think I'm depressed because I cry. That's part of being alive. If you don't cry, like, how are you going to move through these emotions if you don't let them go? If you just hold on to them, you won't. You're not going to heal. You have to go through it. You have to feel everything. And I'm not running. I don't want to run anymore. I am facing myself. I've faced the darkest parts of myself already. I just want to enjoy my life now, judgment free, especially from so called friends. I don't want to be judged by my own friends. That's not a good feeling. Friends should always support you, no matter what. Just be there for you, even through the hard times. And that's why I do what I do. I'm trying to attract my soul tribe, and I've already attracted so many people. Like, not a whole lot, but like maybe, actually quite a few, but it's actually amazing how many people I've been meeting, how many, like, reflections of myself there are through each and every one of you. And I just see parts of myself inside of each and every one of your personalities, and we definitely found each other for a reason. And it's because we put ourselves in that vibration of just being our authentic selves. So when you do that, you attract your soul tribe. It's inevitable. You have to put yourself in those vibrations and you will attract. It's just like magnetism. Everything has magnetics or magnetism to it. Everything is pushing and pulling, and literally holds the universe together. There's just so many things that correlate with life, and I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, but there are days where I do not feel okay, and that's okay. It's okay to not be okay sometimes, but you have to pull yourself out of it. Don't stay there, of course. I had a dark night last night. I'm over it. I learned a lot. I learned that I appreciate everybody so much more. Everybody in my life, I appreciate life so much more. I'm not going to take anything for granted ever again. Every moment is just so precious. And every breath is so precious. We just need to be grateful and thankful all the time. And we'll be happy and peaceful, and I just want to inspire people. I want you to know that you should be yourself, and I'm never going to judge you for being yourself, because I'm the one that wants you to be yourself. I'm the one trying to tell people to just be themselves. That's my main message, and it has been. And there's nothing more freer than that. Just there's nothing more liberating than just being your authentic self and not caring about what people think. How many men are willing to cry on social media? I've never seen one, really. Maybe, not that I can think of. But I'm not afraid to shed these emotions and show that I am vulnerable. But I'm also invulnerable whenever I want to be. But there's moments when we have to really think about things and why everything happens the way it happens. And there's a duality here. We have to accept that there is dark and light. We have to accept the darkness. It's okay. People run away from the darkness. They're afraid of demons and ghosts. And that's literally what's wrong with the world right now. Is we're so separated from that. We're separated. We're separated from our yang. We're trying to live in this yin so much, and that's like the toxic positivity. It's exactly what toxic positivity is. You know how many times women get shamed for just expressing themselves and their bodies and their sexuality? A lot. And I've seen a lot of girls break down crying because people were so judgmental of the pictures they post. And sexuality is like part of life. It's just one example where so many people are being judged for their choices, but it's just prejudice, it's hate. People are so unsatisfied with their own lives that they have to judge others. Or maybe they just think they're so right about everything that there is no other way. It's like their way or the highway mentality. Well, there's a lot of things to contemplate, a lot of things to question, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. I feel like I was pretty clear in my story about how I felt, and I think I expressed myself pretty freely and clearly, and I even advanced to the end where it was just like me giving a message to just to make amends with your family. If you're holding grudges with anybody, you have to let it go, because I realized that just one person in the collective holding on to a grudge, it affects the entire collective. It affects everyone. So the more we make amends and try to heal our relationships as much as we can, we don't have to go back to what it used to be. We just need to say, like, I forgive you, I love you, and just move on and let it go. Stop holding on to it, because grudges are like lead. There's in this Tool song from the Lateralis album, it's called Grudge, and they're literally holding on to the grudges. I'm pretty sure it's called Grudge. I might be wrong, but it's the first song on that album. They say that grudges are like, well, they say leaden grudges. So grudges are like lead because they weigh you down. If you have hate in your heart, it's gonna weigh you down and lower your vibration. People think, oh, you're lowering your vibration because you smoke weed. Maybe alcohol, yes, and especially if you drink a lot. But weed's different. It's natural, and it's different for everybody. And for me, I don't feel like I'm lowering my vibration. I feel like I'm heightening it, if anything. Actually, it doesn't make a difference. One of Bob Marley's quotes says, if you smoke the herb, it reveals you to yourself. And what it does is it connects you to your heart. Your heart chakra opens up. And that's your true essence, your true self. It resides in your heart, your soul. If that's not your experience, fine. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, because it's your experience. So of course you're right. Whatever you're experiencing, you're right. You're completely right. Everybody is right, and nobody's wrong, because it is like your own personal experience. You can't tell somebody that they're wrong because you haven't lived in their shoes. Well, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So can we just please stop judging and prejudging? It's prejudice, and it's stereotyping. I love you all. Hope you're having a great time wherever, whenever. wherever, whenever. Man, I'm rusty. See ya.